Hello friends, let's find the area of the region bounded by the curve y is equal to x and the x-axis from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 2. So if you have a problem like this, if you think of area, you should think of integral. And if you are thinking of integral, think of area. First, let's graph this problem. Let's graph it. So let me draw this is the x-axis, the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. This x and this y. So I'm going to graph y is equal to x. So I'm going to graph that. So that's just the graph of a straight line, right? So that's the graph. And when x is 0, I'm going to locate x equals 0 and x equals 2. So x equals 2 is going to be here because, yeah. So I'm just going to trace it up, right? I'm going to trace it up. And then this place is also 2. So this is where we are considering this part. So from here to here is 2, and from here to here is also 2. So we want to find the area, right? So what shape is this? This is a triangle, right? An area of a triangle is half base times height, right? So the base here is what? The length of the base, this part here is what? Is 2. So the area of that region, the area is just going to be half 2, right? The height, this part here, the height is also 2 times 2. So this is just going to be this 2, we cancel this 2. The answer is just 2. So the area is 2. However, there is a simpler way. There's another way that we can solve this problem. So the area is actually 2, but there's another way. I don't want to say simpler. In some cases it's simpler, right? Why in some cases it might not be the optimal method. So another way to solve this problem is when you see a problem like this, you can just, when you say find the area of the region bounded by y is equal to x and the x-axis is from x equals 0 to x equals 2, what you can do is just compute this integral 0 to 2. The 0 to 2 is coming from this x equals 0 to x equals 2. And then the integrand will just be my x. The integrand will just be x because, and that is coming from y is equal to x. The integrand is just coming from this part. So I have dx. So if you compute this integral, you have, using the power rule, the power here is just 1, right? The power of the integrand is 1. So you add 1 to the power. So you have x. If you add 1 to the power, you get 2 divided by the new power. And then your integral is from 0 to 2. So if you plug in 2 into that, you have 2 square over 2 minus 0 square over 2, right? And this is equal to 4 over 2 minus 0. This is just 2, right? So when we evaluated this integral, we got what? We got 2. And if you just compute just the area just from the shape, right? From the graph, you also got what? You also got 2, right? So now let's take another example. This example is going to explain more. So find the area of the region bounded by y is equal to x squared. It's just a little bit different from the first example. The first example is y is equal to x. This one is y is equal to x squared. So now let's graph this. Let's graph this. So I have, this is my y-axis, and this is my x-axis, right? So the graph of y is equal to x squared, this is a quadratic graph. It's going to be something like this. It's not perfect, but something like that. This is a quadratic graph. Right? So this is the graph. This is a quadratic graph. Okay, so That's this y is equal to x squared, right? Now, from the x-axis is from 0 to 2, right? 0 to 2. So I have 0 is somewhere here, and then 2, let's say 2 is somewhere here, right? So that means the region, if I want to sketch it, is going to be this curve, then this, and this. See that? So if you look at this, if you look at this shape is not, it looks like a triangle, but it's not a triangle because of this part, because of this part here, this part, right? This part is not a straight line, it's a curve, right? It's not a straight line. So it's not a triangle. So we can't apply the formula for finding the area of a triangle here, right? The question will now be, how will you find this area, right? How will you find this area? So this is where, using the method of integral, right, is the best, is better, and is simpler, right? Because to find this area, it can be difficult, right? Because that part is not a straight line. That part with the blue there is not a straight line. So to find this area, I can just use an integral, right? I can just compute this integral from 0 to 2 of x squared dx. Of course, 0 to 2 is coming from this part, from the question x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 2, and x squared is coming from this part, the question y is equal to x squared. So you can just compute that integral, and this is just going to be, if you compute it using the power rule, this is just going to be x cubed over 3 from 0 to 2, and then you plug in your 2, you have 2 cubed over 3 minus 0 cubed over 3, right? And this is just going to be 8 over 3 minus 0, and your answer is just going to be 3. So actually the area of that shape, right, the area of this shape here, the area of that shape is equal to 8 over 3. So the area of that shape, so the area of that shape, so I'm going to write area of this shape here is equal to 8 over 3. So I hope this makes sense, and this makes integral more appealing to you. Thank you.